Welcome back to my monthly real estate market report. I'm Phil Gadd, and this month we're joined again by Rob Bain, mortgage professional, where we discuss pre-qualification versus pre-approval, the brand new first home savings account, the FHSA, which was launched on the 1st of April, and we discuss interest rates and where they're going for the rest of 2023. But quickly, before we get into all that good stuff, I've been helping people buy and sell real estate here in Fernie for the last 5 years. So if you're in the market and looking for some guidance, use the contact info below this video to make an intro call, and I'll be happy to help. Okay, so the market report for Fernie for March 2023, we've new listings down almost 50% to 49%. So in March 2022, there was 37 new listings. Last month, we only had 19. So that does really illustrate the lack of inventory that we're experiencing in our market here in Fernie. Number of sold listings was down 22%. We had 18 sold in March 2022, only 14 this month. Average prices, the list price again is down 9%, and also down 9% is the sale price. So the average list price in March 2023 in Fernie was $635,056. And the sale price in Fernie for March 23 was $626,957. So again, down almost 10% on this time last year. But what is interesting, and it's probably due to the lack of inventory, is things are selling pretty much close to what they list for. Only 98% is the sale to list ratio. And they're selling faster than last month, and also they're selling faster than this time last year. Days on market is down 36% to 54 days on market. So things basically selling close to list and selling a lot quicker than this time last year. Monthly supply of inventory. You know, this stat shows whether we're either in a seller's market or a buyer's market. It gives us a good indication. So it's up 14%. So the higher the number goes, the more of a buyer's market we are typically in. So anything above 4% is considered a buyer's market. Closer to 6 is a really strong buyer's market. Anything below 3% is a really strong seller's market. So again, we're kind of in this point of you know, it's not quite a really strong buyer's market, and it's not quite a super strong seller's market. So we'll see as we go into the busy spring season, busy spring selling season. Now we'll see where this number ends up. But one thing I wanted to just finish on was to show you the average selling price from way back in 2010 all the way up to today, March 2023. So as you can see with this graph, it's been a trend upwards. Some points of that timeline, you know, it does flatten out. In 2015, we saw a slight decline in the average sale price in Fernie. But as you can see, even from 2017 to 2019, before COVID, we saw a fairly steep increase in the average sale price in Fernie. And then obviously we've got COVID, and that kind of speaks for itself. But what is interesting, and I know we're only one quarter away through 2023, but prices seem to be flatlining. And so you can see the 2022 number, and at the moment, at this time of year, it's very, very similar. So that's interesting, something to keep an eye on as we move through the year. To see how that pans out for the rest of 2023. But today, like I mentioned at the top of the show, we're joined by Rob Bain. As always, Rob joins us to talk about mortgages and rates. And today we are going to discuss pre-approval versus pre-qualification. And in another abbreviation for you from the Bank of Canada, the make sure I get this right, the FHSA, which means the First Home Savings Account. So Rob's going to discuss that, and then also end with his thoughts on the rates and what could potentially be coming down the road. So welcome again, Rob. How are you?
I'm doing well, Phil. Thanks for having me, and good job nailing yet another acronym that the government of Canada has created for us. 100%, you passed that test there, so good job.
Yeah. Cheers.
All right, so yeah, our first item up for today, pre-approval versus a pre-qualification, and really what's the difference between those two. So something really I think that buyers and potential clients that are looking at that home need to consider here is, a pre-qualification really is only a rough estimate of mortgage affordability that's based on your income, but really it comes with no guarantees from a lender or a broker like myself. Within that pre-qualification, we don't really look at a full credit report for a client. Income documents are not verified. Estimated income and debt payments are really used. So, lots of these pieces that go into that pre-qualification, it's really just a rough estimate and is not nearly as valuable as what we call a pre-approval. So on the other hand, a pre-approval, it's backed by a written commitment from a lender that your income documents, credit report, and overall financial situation has been thoroughly reviewed. So what we mean by that is a complete application's put together. Just like when we're doing a live application for a full mortgage, credit reports are viewed. So we pull your credit history, we collect income documents to really verify what your income is. We look at down payment sources and make sure that they're confirmed and usable in that purchase. Actual debt payments are calculated. Really, the full application's put together, thoroughly looked over, and we want to ensure that it's going to be easy to move forward for when that client does find a house that they want to make an offer on, because if we have a pre-approval in place, it simplifies the steps moving forward to get that full approval on that specific property. Speaking for myself and my clients, I really only do actual full pre-approvals for my clients. I generally don't do pre-qualifications just because they don't give as much value, and really I find that in the type of market that we're in, and Phil, I know from clients that we've worked together with, really a pre-approval is what we're looking for. So I guess a question to throw out there to you, Phil, is, what are your thoughts on clients getting a pre-approval when they're on that home purchase journey with yourself? Do you find it valuable?
Oh, incredibly. I mean, to be honest, my process is when I talk to potential buyers, new clients, buyers, one of the first questions we ask, who, what, where, and why, is kind of the main kind of scope that we cover. But it's who, what, where, why, and how. How is the biggest question on how are you going to afford this purchase? Some people know, some people don't. But then, my next step is, well, you need to speak to my guy, Rob, because he will be able to help you get pre-approval. I don't really ever use the pre-qualification because I find it like 100% valuable to have a buyer client who has gone through your process, for my purposes, knowing exactly what they can afford. So when we are looking at properties, we're confident that we can make a very strong, clean offer when we need to. So yeah, it's essential, really. It is part of my buying process that my clients are pre-approved before, and not always before that. Sometimes there's instances where we'll go out and do like a more of an educational tour with clients, but in the background, I've already got them like talking to you and starting that process. So by the second kind of go around, we have all our ducks in a row, and we're ready to make an offer. So the short answer is, yeah, absolutely, pre-approval essential. Yeah.
That's exactly it, right? Because I mean, it gives us a head start, right? We put together then that mortgage application. We can start looking into options. I've started collecting information from that client already as far as documents and different verifications that we need. And all of those things then don't need to usually happen once that offer is live, right? So we're getting ahead of the game. If it's a property that is hot and there's potential multiple offers on it, well, then we're ahead of the competition in that scenario. So we already know what's going on, and we can usually get a quicker full approval at that stage. So there's numerous benefits to doing the pre-approval over the pre-qualification. So I think we've highlighted that well in both of our stories there.
Yeah, and definitely, it's almost just to add, it's a real comfort level on my level, and I think my clients as well. Just knowing the fact, I've got a list of clients who I know are pre-approved. We're ready to go. So when I'm daily looking at the lists, the property lists, I've got it mentally in my mind. Okay, Mr. Smith is pre-approved. Blah blah blah. Oh, this has come up. Let's go for it. It's kind of just a comfort level knowing that we're ready to move forward, and we're not like, oh shoot, that property came up, that would be great for Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but are they pre-approved? Oh, I don't know. I mean, and it's just like, it's just that comfort level of knowing that your clients are just, that everything's in place and you're ready to make a move.
100% it, right?
Yeah.
And you get to know exactly how much you can afford as well, based on some scenarios too. So if you're going for that property, you can potentially get it, or maybe you can't. But either way, right? There's a lot of value in that too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So the second item on our list here, the first home savings account, the FHSA. So the government of Canada just introduced this. It just became live at participating financial institutions, banks in Canada on April 1st of 2023. So this is fresh, just a few days ago being launched. So within this program, really it's geared towards those first time home buyers. And it gives them the ability to save up to $40,000 on a tax-free basis. Now, how does that work? Well, the plan includes up to $8,000 annual contributions, so $40,008 per year. So that would take 5 years for a client to accumulate the $40,000 total if they were going for that whole amount. Plus, they would gain interest and whatnot over those years as well. So when they make the contribution, the benefit here is like a RSP, retirement savings account. The contribution is tax deductible. So meaning that $8,000 that they put in, or up to $8,000 per year, they reduce their income in that year by that amount. So they save taxes on that portion. Then when they go to withdraw it down the road to make the purchase of that home, it's not taxable income when they pull it out. So again, different than any sort of investment product out there. This is kind of like a tax-free savings account in this sense, where when you pull the money out, it's not taxable. So really two benefits if you're planning to buy a home, probably a few years into the future, if you're really going to get the benefit of it. Now, spouses can both each have their own first home savings account. And as well, they can still utilize the existing RSP home buyers plan. Now, the RSP home buyers plan, just to give a quick refresher on that, it allows you to access up to $35,000 from your RSPs. So if you look at the combination of all of that, maximum husband and wife, two spouses, could each access up to $80,000 in the first home savings account and $70,000 from their RSP home buyers plan. So to combine that all together, the potential is there to have $150,000 towards that purchase if you're planning ahead of time and taking advantage of these programs.
Yeah. Okay. That's it's good to know. Yeah, I was kind of came on my radar a couple of months ago, but it's good to know 1st of April. And do they work like TFSAs and the retirement savings, where like you can buy shares with them, you can put them in mutual funds? Is it similar kind of format?
Yeah, exactly. I don't think
Yeah.
there's any limitations on what the investments can be.
Right.
It'll be up to each financial institution or bank that offers these type of accounts to set up what is allowable for them to put within that portfolio. So, I
Right.
mean, clients, I encourage them to check out the Government of Canada website to see
Yeah.
all the details on the program there, but then also to talk to their bank or their investment agency to see what kind of offering they have to really find the best option for their scenario, right? I mean, investing, of course, if you can put it into something that's going to earn you a little bit more interest, of course, that's
Mm.
going to be an advantage because then your money while sitting there is working hard for you too over the next however many years until you pull it out for that home purchase.
Yeah, yeah, sure. And do you know what age it starts from? Is it 18 or?
Yeah, most programs that are offered in Canada is at that adult age of 18 that you can get into those programs.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think it's funny actually. Even my youngest daughter at 12 years old was the other day discussing with me on a drive up to Calgary her concern about how she's going to afford things. This is a 12-year-old. So programs like this, I think, if started at a young enough age, could really help young people get their first step onto the property ladder for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I think this one could be a good one. We'll have to see how it pans out in future years, and really how it works once it's in place. But upon initial intro, it looks like it's going to provide some value to those first time home buyers.
Sounds good. Well, good. Thanks for letting us know about that. And then finally, your thoughts on where we are with rates and what we could potentially expect moving further into 2023.
You bet. Yeah. So our rate update here, really these past couple of weeks have been great. We've seen some rates decreasing across the board, which has been really nice for prospective buyers or clients looking to renew or refinance their mortgages. Looking at our current 5-year fixed insured rates right now, we're sitting with most lenders at that 4.64% range. So really, we've come down. We were up in the high fours and even into the low fives for a little bit, but for those insured purchases, that's great news. And same with conventionals, and a conventional mortgage, just as a reminder, is 20% down minimum. We're seeing those closer to that 4.89 area. Of course, clients that have a larger down payment, 25, 30, 35%, we even have some better rates available that get down closer to the mid fours. Currently as well in a 5-year fixed term. So some decent options that are available there now, which I'm hoping is going to help a lot of clients out that are looking to get into that first house or do some work with their mortgage. We've really, I think we can say that this has come to the surface now because of the Bank of Canada has so far paused their interest rate increases there. We saw that on their last announcement that there was no change. So that was good news. All, of course, on the back of our inflation reports showing a little bit of downward trend. Not a lot. There's still some work to be done. So let's not celebrate too much yet. But we're seeing it move in the direction that we want it to. So hopefully we'll see what the Bank of Canada does at their next rate announcement here, which is coming up, I think, on April the 12th. But if the good news continues, hopefully we'll stay where we're at for yet another month and a half until the following announcement, and we'll see what future inflationary reports bring between now and then.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see because looking at other countries around the world, I see. Especially the UK, I believe, has increased their rates the last time around. So, it'd be interesting to see what the rest of the year. But yeah, it'd be good to see if we could stabilize and even see some decreases in. I'm sure that would help the housing situation. Whether or not it will help with the inventory shortage that we're currently witnessing remains to be seen.
Yeah, for sure. There's still a little bit of time to wait on those pieces, right? And I mean, I'm hopeful that we'll see some rate decreases coming perhaps as early as the end of 2023 2023, but perhaps not until 2024. It really depends, on these next 3 to 6 months on what happens with all of these numbers that are being tracked and looked at, right? So we still have a little bit of time to go and a little bit of work to be done.
Awesome. All right, Rob. Well, thanks again for joining me on this month's market report. Thanks for all your insight, and until next time, thanks very much.
Awesome. Thank you for having me, Phil.